Hey everybody, and welcome to another PTCGO game I've got for you. This time we have Celebi Mewtwo, which I'll be playing, and our opponent will be playing Zekrom Eels. Traditionally, I would say this was in the Zekrom Eels' favour, just because it has that type advantage over Tornadus, and if it does run Thunderous, then we're going to be in a lot more trouble than a traditional Zekrom Eels build. As the match starts up, I'm just going to say thanks for all the subscribers and likes I've been getting recently. I've hit all the like targets thanks to you guys, and just carry on being as cool as you are. So into the match, I start with Celebi and 2 Tornadus with not a great hand. At least we have the collector, so we can grab Cleffa, and they start with a Celebi and a Zekrom EX. And right away they Juniper. As you can see, I sped this up because the match did end up being over 25 minutes long. So what they do is Dual Ball, Double Tails, which is going to affect the match quite a bit because they've gone first. If they hit the 2 Dual Ball heads, then they would have been in a much better position. All they've had to do is attach Double Colorless, play Juniper, and pass. Because they've passed, you can pretty much assume that they've got a good hand because they didn't eek. And we've got a decision to make. So we go for a Collector, get our Terrakion because it's good against Zekrom EX, another Celebi, and our Cleffa because our hand is now pretty bad. So we'll bench the Terrakion, and I only did that prematurely because we're going to send Cleffa up. There's a potential free prize if they hit a Lightning Energy, and we can just retaliate later on. If they KO it early, then that's going to have to be what happens, to be honest. Terrakion isn't going to be essential to this matchup, but we had to put it down early there just to make sure we had it on the field. Now we eke into an okay hand. We haven't got any draw support, and they lead with some more draw support in the form of Sage's Training. Just wait to see what they get rid of. It's good that our Cleffa stayed asleep so that they can't take a prize, but we kind of wanted them to if they hit the Lightning Energy. And another Double Tails on Dual Ball. That's going to hurt, especially because they just discarded a Dynamo, so they're not going to be able to search that out. But that's the risk you take when you run Dual Ball. So they did hit the energy they needed, but can't take a prize. Now our Cleffa stays asleep, which is going to be even more annoying because we can't refresh this pretty bad hand. So we're both stuck with a pretty bad start, to be honest. Go ahead and power up Terrakion because that's all I can really do. Check what I've used. Should probably play that Collector just to thin the deck out a bit more and increase the odds of top decking something decent. Think about playing Catcher, but decide against it. And I'm not sure why the opponent isn't eking, because they obviously have not much in their hand really, because they didn't play much last turn. So I would have liked to see an eke out of them, but we don't really know what's in their hand. So I'll grab 2 Mewtwo's and a Celebi with that a Mewtwo, a Tornadus and a Celebi, sorry. And let's see what happens. So they top deck a Dynamo, capture up the Terrakion, and Pont. If they get energy, then our Terrakion will be KO'd. Losing that Terrakion isn't too bad, it's the only option we had to set up, and they could have killed our Cleffa if it woke up, because we play Super Rod. Now Super Rod will let you put it back into the deck later on, and we have enough Prism energy to keep ourselves going. But surprisingly, they don't hit the energy and are forced to eke. So what I can do now is actually get rid of that Dynamo. They've helped me out. Don't need to retreat my Cleffa if it's happened to stay asleep, and I can just catch her up and KO it for a quick prize, meaning that's 2 Dynamos in the discard pile already. But look at that hand we've got there, it's just appalling. 3 Junkons with nothing in the discard pile. Another Dynamo comes down on their side, and they're going to be able to Strong Bolt for a KO this time. Now the glitch on PTCGO is that you can't chain Double Colorless, as we saw in the last episode, with Strong Volt. So they've had to discard a Double Colorless and a Lightning, but I would have gone for the 2 Lightnings if I was them. Top decks, nothing good, so we're going to have to load up our Mewtwo. And we can get rid of another Dynamo. That's 3 Dynamos out of a possible 4. So we've cut off their pretty much our energy acceleration. If they put down another one, I have Junk Arm and Catcher to KO with an X-Ball as well. So we're 2 prizes up, 1 prize up, sorry, with them with no energy acceleration, and a Zekrom EX with just 1 energy on it. So things are looking good for us so far. Sage's Training gets 3 energy in the discard pile for them, which I don't understand completely. They should have probably kept 1 or 2 in their hand because they don't have energy electrics in play. And so they go ahead and do 80 to our Mewtwo. Now from here I have some options. I can go for an X-Ball, just get some damage on that Zekrom, because it looks... If they have an energy in hand, then they can take 2 prizes, but I can take 2 prizes straight back with Tornadus or my own Mewtwo if we draw in something good. So he level balls for a Pachirisu, which is saying to me doesn't have any Dynamos left. Uses self-generation for 2. And I'm not sure what he's doing here, unless he has the energy in hand. If they have the energy in hand, then it just gets extra energy on the field that they aren't going to be able to do with electric. But you switch into Cleffa and use Pont, so that was a risky move, to be honest. They didn't really need to put the Pachirisu down. They simply could have put the energy onto the Zekrom and just used Strong Volt. But here is a very risky move. They're using Junk Arm, I'm guessing to get that level ball back. Because if they run Pachirisu, I'm sure they're going to run Shaman. And they're making another mistake. Oh, which they've taken back. So they play Junk Arm again. Okay, that wasn't the mistake I was talking about. The mistake is putting Lightning Energy into the discard pile. That's usually what you want to do, but right now they don't really want to do it because they're not going to have any electrics in play. Simple as that, really. Okay, here comes a Mewtwo. So they got Shaman as well, which was pretty lucky off that Pont because they communicated for the Mewtwo. And now they're going to put the energy across and X-Ball me back for a KO. So to me, that's overextending at its absolute best, because they could have just strong volted for the KO and not have to waste all those resources. I think they played 2 Junk Arms that turn, had to put down 2 essentially free prizes later on, and I've just top deck an end. So we finally get a draw support. So right now I have a few options. I've got 2 Mewtwo's in my hand to take out that Mewtwo if I hit the right energy, and I've also got that Zekrom EX on the bench that I could take out with either Mewtwo EX or a Tornadus. So I use Junk Arm. I think I'm going for, yeah, have to go for a Catcher. Just thinking a little bit. And yeah, I play the end without playing the Catcher. Because if I don't get the energy needed to KO the Zekrom EX, then I'm just bringing it active for no reason. And what an awful hand. So Cleffa's going to have to come out and eke again. If we stay asleep, that's amazing. If we don't, then that's another free prize, and then we'll be 2 prizes down. And to be honest, our hand isn't really that good again. Oof. So they've had to Juniper away all their electrics, so all that energy in the discard pile is pretty much wasted, to be honest, and there's a lot in there right now. Our Cleffa stayed awake, sorry, so it's another free prize we're going to have to give up. But at least we got that single copy of Twins in our hand. We play Energy Exchanger, not a popular card, but useful in this situation to get another double colourless. And here I think they make a hasty decision. They put down a Mewtwo with a double colourless on it. So that's another free prize. When you know you're playing against Celebi Mewtwo, they're going to have more Mewtwo's than you. They have 3 traditionally. So that's quite a hasty prize to give up. So in our turn, we don't want Shaman, we don't want the Dual Ball because there's nothing we need to get. And we grab a Catcher to get rid of that Zekrom EX. The Mewtwo's are going to be pretty easy prizes when we come to using our Twins the next turn. And That Zekrom EX only has 80 damage on it, so we can take the KO, the easy KO when we need it. So here we go. Here's our twins. I fetch a... Well, I'm going to need to get rid of a Mewtwo next turn, regardless of what happens. So if I don't get rid of a Mewtwo next turn, then we've lost pretty much. But we also need to keep it so that our Mewtwos don't get KO'd by theirs. So what I do is I grab an Eviolite and a double colourless energy. So I attach the double colourless to Mewtwo, making sure that that does not get KO'd unless they have a ridiculous amount of energy on their own Mewtwo, which would have been more likely if they held onto that double colourless that they put onto their bench Mewtwo. So I debate whether to put the grass energy onto the Mewtwo EX, because then I could have powered up a stronger Mewtwo, and the Eviolite cancels out the X-ball damage that could potentially come from the other side. But I decide against it because there's 2 easy prizes on the bench I can still get if the Mewtwo attack doesn't pull off, and we'll just see what they do to see whether we can win next turn or not. So they're burning a lot of resources. They've only got 4 cards left in their deck, so if we play it right we could even deck them out potentially, depending on how many Ponts and stuff they run. They've also got the Cleffer out there to potentially stop from decking out. But right now we've got a lot of options, even though our hand isn't looking the best. We've got a lot of good cards left in our deck, so top decking is a great possibility. And they just pass. So we top deck an amazing top deck, which is Skyro Bridge, which means we're going to get free retreat out of the active spot. But here I think I'm not going to be able to pull off the desired move because we don't have switch in the discard pile. What I could have done is retreated with Skyro Bridge into Celebi, use Forest Breath onto my Mewtwo, and powered that up, but then we'd be short the catcher and have to punt for it, which we don't really want to do. So while Cleffer's there, we might as well take the free prize with Tornadus, to be honest, and I attach the Prism Energy so that I don't have to move it. I debate playing the Skyro Bridge, but because I'm not using it this turn, there's no point, and it will just give the opponent the advantage with a free retreat on 2 of their Pokemon. So I attach the Prism to Tornadus, which means I won't have to move energy around, which I don't really want to be doing right now. And sets up, make sure it has a... Well, actually it's kind of luring the X-Ball KO. I kind of want them to X-Ball KO my Tornadus if they can, because then that will lead them straight into an X-Ball KO of my own. So as you can see, it pretty much works. They've got X-Ball for 100 damage there, but with the plus power they go for 110, and now we've pretty much won the game because we can send Celebi active, we play down our Skyro Bridge, because all this good stuff is coming now because we weren't getting it in the beginning of the game. Forest Breath onto our Mewtwo, attach double colourless, retreat for free, and we will be able to X-Ball for our last prize, or last 2 prizes which we would have gotten. So overall, it was a really, really close game. Some decisions with Mewtwo there really did need to be made. I think what this match teaches us is that we don't always need to go for an X-Ball return KO on a Mewtwo, and can just take easy prizes off of Cleffers and less than, well, low HP Pokemon like the Pachirisu and Shaman there, or even Cleffer. So thanks for watching this game, I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave a like in the bottom left hand corner if you did enjoy it, and I will see you next time.